Question I get asked a lot. Daniel, how should I invest during the year of 2020? Let's talk about that. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Daniel, one half of the Kwak brothers, and in this video, I'm going to share with you how to invest your money in the year 2020. And a lot of people ask me that question, but before we go ahead and get into it, guys, I ask please like and subscribe and click on that notification bell. And guys, if you find this information useful, share it with your friends, share it with your family. Don't be selfish, right? That's what I learned in Sunday school at church. Don't be selfish. Share this video, share this information, so that way as much people can listen to it and benefit from it as much as possible. So in 2020, well, let's talk about what's going on right now. There's a lot of volatility, right? And if you don't know what volatility is, it's pretty much a lot of uncertainty, a lot of craziness, a lot of just crap hitting the fan, as I would describe it, right? And there's a lot of things that's happened in the year of 2020 that a lot of people would not have predicted. I mean, even think about like the coronavirus, right? Like the coronavirus is affecting, the stock market, it's affecting the economy. There's so many things that's going on. There's so many different industries that this virus, which by the way is not even that crazy. Like I think I saw a chart where it says the corona versus like the common flu and other things. Like there's more people dying to car accidents and even like animal related deaths, right? Like shark deaths, whatever, than the coronavirus. It's a lot of it is more fear. But think about what it does to the economy. Think about what it does to the stock market and trade and manufacturing and especially the travel industry. It does a lot of crazy things. And even just this trade deal with the United States and China, there's a lot of things up in the air right now. I mean, even when you look at the stock market and, you really saw kind of a consistent basis all throughout February. And then like February 20th, it just started plummeting, right? And a lot of people are freaking out, right? People are selling it off, and the rates dropped 0.5% the last couple days, and the bond market, of course, whenever rates drop, the prices of bonds go up. So there's a lot of volatility happening in the market right now, and I think that's why a lot of people are asking me, well, Daniel, a lot of things are going on, stuff's hitting the fan, a lot of uncertainty and unpredictability. Should the answer be real estate? And well, that makes sense, I guess, because I'm a real estate expert, right? And sure, there's a lot of benefits that real estate investors got even in the last crash, particularly, guys, and I'm only talking about apartment complex investors. A lot of real estate investors and entrepreneurs who have lived through the crash will tell you, well, my single family house portfolio took a big hit, right? A lot of other assets took a big hit, but my apartments stayed the same. And well, let's dissect it. Let's talk about that. Because think about it, as an apartment complex investor, we're not buying a piece of real estate hoping the value is going to go up, hoping that it's going to appreciate and then sell it off. That's not what we do. That's more so the single family market. But apartment complex investors, they'll buy an apartment complex, a piece of property, and they don't buy it for the value, they buy it for the cash flow. So let me ask you guys a question. If you buy an apartment building, let's say at $1 million, right? And it's a 20-unit apartment complex, and it makes $80,000 a year. Well, let's think about that, right? $80,000 after expenses such as taxes, insurance, maintenance, management, you name it. Now, if that apartment complex drops its value, right, in terms of the value of the whole asset, if it goes from $1 million to, let's say, $500,000, you're talking about a 50% drop. Now, let's say that same apartment complex, however, still made $80,000 a year. Would you care what that value is going to be? Not necessarily, right? Probably not. I know I wouldn't, right? If an asset makes me $80,000 a year, whether it does $1 million or $500,000 in terms of its value, I'm not going to care, because the reason why I bought it was because of cash flow. Now, you might be thinking, you're listening or watching to this video, and you're watching this video, and you're probably thinking, well, Daniel, are you saying that we should invest in apartments? Is that what you're telling us? Should we invest in multifamily? No, that's actually not what I'm telling you to do. Granted, apartments do well during a recession because, well, people are always going to need a place to live. And whereas people who are, doing really well living in a house right now, if the economy goes bad, they may go to renting, which is phenomenal for guys like me who are apartment complex investors. But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not telling you to invest in apartments. Why? Because, well, right now, one of the things that we can say for sure in this economy is that money is very cheap. And we've got to look at supply and demand. I always tell people all the time, investing is always about supply and demand. Well, let's think about that for a second. Why should we not invest in apartments, even though I just made a couple of really good valid points as to why we should? Well, here's the thing. If the money is cheap, and that's what's certain right now, right? The interest rates drop 0.5%. The borrowing rate is very low, historically speaking, and money is cheap. Everybody wants to invest. Well, if that's the case and money is very cheap, what happens to the asset? What happens to the price of the apartment complex? It goes up. Now, I know the price doesn't matter when you're holding the property, but what about when you buy it? Right? That makes a huge difference, right? When you buy it, that makes a huge difference because, well, if you buy something for a lot more than what it actually should be, guess what? Your debt service or your mortgage payment for taking care of that loan is going to be high, therefore affecting the income. So all of a sudden, instead of $80,000, if you overpay for a building, you might only be making $50,000 or $40,000. And that changes a lot of things. So right now, it's extremely hard to buy an apartment complex at the price that it should be. It's very hard to not overpay for an asset, especially an income-producing asset in real estate. So, well, what does that mean? What are some strategies then within real estate, or potentially even just strategies in general, that we should be utilizing to make money and invest in 2020? Well, it's simple. Whenever you have an economy where money is cheap, and the transaction value is very high, the transaction volume in terms of what's going on, a lot of times quick, easy ways to make money are the ones that flourish. So I'll use real estate as an example because I am, at the end of the day, more real estate focused than any other asset class. Let's think about smart, quick ways that we can make money without taking on a whole lot of liability. One of the first strategies that comes to mind is wholesaling because, well, whenever you have an economy where the money is very cheap and a lot of transactions are happening, wholesaling is a very easy, viable way to make some money on the side. Now, do I recommend wholesaling long term? No. Because at the end of the day, if you're wholesaling, you still got to get up and you still got to make things happen, as opposed to owning an apartment building and allowing the cash to come to you every single month. And for that, guys, by the way, if you don't know what wholesaling is, it's literally just seeing an asset, like a property, putting it under contract, and then selling that contractable interest, that financial interest, to another investor who's going to make more money off that project. So you're literally just a middleman making money, just distributing and finding a property. Another way is fix and flip, especially if you're in a market where the single family house market is very hot, a lot of money is cheap, people are buying. Well, fix and flip may be a great way to get in, get out, and make some money quick. Now, however, I'm saying a lot of these great things. I'm saying a couple ideas for how you can invest your money in 2020. But let me tell you the best investment for this year in 2020, right? And I want to start off by saying a quote by my favorite individual in the investing world, Mr. Warren Buffett. Now, obviously, in my eyes, Warren Buffett is like the Michael Jordan of investing. He's done super well for himself, and I followed a lot of his philosophies. I read a lot of his books. And one of the things that he says very commonly is when everyone's going left, you go right. As in, when everybody's doing one thing in the market, you should really consider doing things that not a lot of people are doing. And well, I kind of think about that quote especially right now because, well, everybody is investing in the market. Everybody's letting their money go. They're pulling the trigger. Money is cheap. People want to do transactions. Whereas Mr. Buffett's over there in his little corner and he's saving up as much cash as he possibly can. And I think that says something. When everyone's going left, you should go right. So what does that mean for me? How does that translate into my advice for you in terms of how you should invest your money in 2020? I think the best investment that you can make in 2020 is in yourself. That's right. The 6 inches between your 2 ears is the best real estate that you could ever invest in right now. And why do I say that? Well, it's easy because, again, a lot of people are letting their money go. They're investing, right? Or they're doing a lot of transactional aspects. They're selling, they're buying, they're doing a lot of things, whereas they're not spending the time to actually learn more and invest in themselves. I always tell people, listen, when you're going out there into the market, whether you're doing stocks, bonds, real estate, whatever it may be, you're going out to the market, you're going out into a battlefield, right? And there's a lot of people in the battlefield. There's some people that are winning, they're losing, right? Everybody almost is out for themselves. It's crazy. But in order for you to invest in yourself, it's like sharpening your blade, right? I get a lot of questions like, Daniel, what's the best market? Daniel, what's the best thing to invest in? And it seems like a lot of people just want the quick answers in terms of what to do, but nobody asks questions in terms of how they can change who they are, right? A lot of people want to do the action, the do, but they don't want to focus on the who. And I'm here to tell you guys the who is 10 times more important than what you do. I got a lot of friends who, they have a horrible strategy in a horrible market, but they still make a lot of money because of how smart they are, how good they are at building a team, how good they are at setting a strat. Like, it is immense and incredible with the power of investing in yourself. So how do we do that? Well, it's simple. Right now, you're on the right track. You're watching this video. You're spending time out of your schedule, out of your busy schedule, to watch something that could potentially help you in your career. Now, obviously, that leads me to say, if you guys check the links in the description below, there are a ton of free resources that I want to give to you guys as a gift to sharpen the blade, so to speak. Because when you go out there into the battlefield, which is the market, you want to have a very sharp tool. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, that's what I've been mainly focusing on, not even in 2020, but even in 2019, right? I've been focusing on learning and expanding my brand, or in terms of the YouTube channel with Sam, and building things that help you guys out. But my main focus actually has been taking a step back, observing what's happening with the market, making estimated predictions on what I believe is going to occur, and sharpening my blade for when that time comes. One of my favorite athletes of all time says, it's a beautiful thing when preparation meets opportunity. And guys, there's a lot of opportunities that are going to come. But right now in the year 2020, where money is cheap and there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of people are out there in the market. A lot of people are out there in the battlefield. And you know what? I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world if we just focused on investing in ourselves. So that way, when a more opportunistic time comes, we'll be the ones that are truly ready. So again, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, we have a lot of free resources that do help you sharpen that blade. And of course, hit me up with any questions in the comment section below and let me know what you would like to talk about. I think this video raises up a lot of questions. So until then, I'll see you guys later.